The first sign came quietly. It was barely noticeable at first, hidden in the endless streams of data that humanity's satellites collected every day. Dr. Elena Kapoor, a leading astrophysicist at the Global Space Observation Center, squinted at the readings on her screen. A cluster of massive objects was moving at speeds that no natural phenomena could explain. "They're coming," she whispered to herself, her voice trembling. Across the world, scientists in Tokyo, New York, Moscow, and Cape Town were noticing the same anomaly. At first, governments assumed it was a miscalculation, a glitch, or even a trick of light. But as the objects drew closer, the reality became undeniable. Humanity was about to face something entirely new and terrifying. The news broke slowly, at first as speculation. Unidentified objects approaching Earth. The headlines read, "Scientists baffled by unusual movement in solar system." Social media erupted with theories, ranging from hopeful ideas about contact with friendly aliens to fears of annihilation. But behind the screens of public speculation, in places humanity could not reach, the galaxy watched. The Galactic Council, an alliance of thousands of civilizations spanning the stars, observed Earth with a mix of disbelief and dread. For them, Earth was a minor, mostly primitive planet. It had been ignored for centuries, considered insignificant in galactic terms, and yet, here it was, about to face an assault from a fleet that even the Council considered dangerous. Among the Council's observers, debates erupted. "They cannot survive this," said Vryn, a member representing the aquatic race of Korthan. "They have no shields, no fleets, no experience. Intervention is unnecessary. It's over before it begins." "No," replied Zoltar of the machine civilization known as the Krill. "It is not our place to interfere. We cannot simply destroy the attackers, even if it is easy. Observation only. Let them see what happens." "Observation only?" hissed Lisha of the Arons. "We are talking about a species that has barely left its home world, facing an armada. This is cruelty disguised as policy." The Council was divided. But the verdict was clear. They could only observe. Any interference could trigger galactic consequences they were not willing to risk. And so, the humans were left to face the impending threat alone. Back on Earth, governments began to react. The United Nations convened an emergency session, broadcasting to every nation. The announcement was calm, almost clinical, but its meaning was terrifying. "Ladies and gentlemen, the situation is serious. We are under observation of unidentified alien objects approaching our planet. We do not yet know their intentions, but all nations are advised to prepare for the possibility of conflict." Panic followed. Stock markets crashed, cities buzzed with rumors, and families clung to one another, fearful of the unknown. But amid the fear, a spark of determination emerged. Humanity had faced wars before, plagues, and disasters. They were unprepared for this, yes, but they were not ready to give up. Dr. Kapoor and her team worked day and night to understand the approaching fleet. Their initial analysis revealed ships larger than any human city, their hulls shimmering with a strange, unbreakable energy. Communication attempts yielded nothing. The fleet moved as a single organism, precise and deliberate. Military strategists quickly convened. Conventional weapons, missiles, tanks, fighter jets were useless against an enemy in orbit. Humanity needed something new, something unexpected. General Marcus Hale, commander of the International Space Defense Coalition, addressed the Council of Nations. "We may not have the firepower to match them ship for ship, but we do have something they do not: creativity. Humans adapt. Humans innovate. And if they think we are weak, they have underestimated us. That will be their mistake." Teams of scientists, engineers, and soldiers collaborated like never before. Underground bunkers became command centers. Satellites were retrofitted as weapons platforms. Civilian space shuttles were modified for reconnaissance and sabotage missions. Even private companies joined the effort, offering resources, technology, and skilled personnel. Meanwhile, The alien fleet drew closer, its presence unmistakable in the night sky. Cities experienced strange magnetic disturbances, causing temporary power failures. Strange patterns appeared in satellite communications, revealing the alien ships were scanning Earth. Panic and curiosity spread hand in hand. Humanity stared at the skies, asking the same question: what did they want? Then, the first direct encounter occurred. A probe, small but clearly advanced, entered Earth's atmosphere. It hovered above New York City, its surface reflecting the skyline like a dark mirror. People stared in awe and fear. News crews captured live footage, broadcasting the alien object to billions around the globe. Dr. Kapoor and her team analyzed the probe. Its energy signature was unlike anything humanity had ever recorded. Yet, within its design, patterns suggested intelligence, calculated, precise, almost artistic. "The fleet is not mindless," she said. "They know what they are doing, and they know we exist." Governments scrambled to respond. Military satellites were repositioned. Early warning systems were activated. Civil defense drills, previously considered unnecessary, became mandatory. Humanity had no choice but to prepare. As the alien fleet entered the outer orbit of the moon, the first attacks began, but in a strange, almost restrained way. Orbital bombardments were precise, targeting uninhabited areas to test humanity's response, rather than cause mass destruction. The aliens were measuring, calculating, studying. On Earth, a sense of unity began to emerge. Old rivalries faded as nations shared intelligence, technology, and resources. Scientists from different countries worked side by side. Soldiers trained together. Engineers collaborated across borders. For the first time, humanity acted as one. Amid the chaos, small victories became morale boosters. Using improvised defenses, humans managed to disable minor probes, forcing the aliens to reconsider their assumptions. The Council observed with growing astonishment. For a species considered primitive, humanity displayed audacity, courage, and intelligence. Even the most skeptical council members admitted it. Humans were unpredictable, yet the greatest challenge was still to come. The alien fleet, a wave of unimaginable power, was preparing to descend into Earth's atmosphere. Communication attempts failed. Cities were evacuated. Humanity faced the possibility of extinction. In New York, Dr. Kapoor and General Hale watched the sky. The alien ships blotted out the sun, their shadows stretching over the city like dark fingers. Hale's hand tightened around the edge of the command console. "They think we're weak," he muttered. "They think we'll fall. Let them see how wrong they are." And then, as if the universe itself held its breath, the first assault began, though not in the way anyone expected. The aliens did not unleash total destruction immediately. Instead, their weapons probed, testing, observing humanity's responses. It was a battle of wits, strategy, and courage. Across the globe, people watched and waited. They had no idea if they would survive the night. But one thing became clear. Humanity would not go quietly. They had discovered something the galaxy often underestimated: resilience. And in the shadows, the Galactic Council continued to observe, hearts filled with dread and awe. They had seen countless civilizations fall before the might of war fleets. But Earth was different. This species, untested, untrained, and underestimated, had already proven that it could surprise even the most advanced observers. The night sky burned with alien fire, yet humanity endured. Cities were battered, but not broken. Satellites fell, but were replaced. Lives were lost. Yes, but hope survived. Stronger than ever. Dr. Kapoor turned to General Hale. "We may not know how this ends," she said, "but we will fight. And maybe that will be enough." Hale nodded, eyes on the alien armada. "It has to be." And so, humanity braced itself, standing on the edge of annihilation. The aliens believed they would dominate. The Council believed they would fail. And the humans? They prepared to do the impossible. Because when the galaxy comes to judge you, sometimes the most underestimated species is the one that changes everything. The alien fleet had entered low orbit, and the world held its breath. Cities below were eerily quiet, as if the planet itself was waiting for the storm to strike. For weeks, humanity had watched and learned, studying the enemy's movements, probing their weaknesses, and preparing for the unimaginable. General Marcus Hale stood in the International Space Defense Command Center, a massive underground complex beneath the Rocky Mountains. Holographic displays showed the alien ships in real time. They were enormous, each one larger than entire cities, moving with terrifying precision. The alien weapon systems glowed like molten fire, ready to rain destruction on Earth. Yet, humanity had a plan. It was dangerous, risky, and almost desperate, but it was all they had. Dr. Elena Kapoor approached the general, holding a datapad. "We've identified a potential weakness," she said. "Their shields fluctuate slightly when they maneuver. If we can time an electromagnetic pulse, it could disable their systems long enough for us to strike." Hale raised an eyebrow. "Electromagnetic pulses? From satellites?" "Yes," Kapoor said. "We can modify our orbital satellites to generate bursts of energy. It won't destroy their ships, but it will give us a window, maybe a few minutes. That's all we need." Hale nodded slowly. "Then we do it. Prepare the satellite network. I want every available shuttle and drone ready for deployment." Around the world, humanity moved with a speed and coordination it had never known. Engineers in Europe worked on reprogramming communication satellites into EMP generators. Private space companies offered shuttles and experienced pilots. Military units coordinated attacks, while scientists monitored the alien fleet's movements. For the first time in history, humanity fought as one species. Borders, politics, and rivalries were set aside. The Earth was a single entity, united by survival. As the first EMP satellites launched, the aliens finally reacted. One of their massive ships, larger than New York City, fired a pulse of energy that disabled several human satellites. But the humans were ready. Backup systems activated instantly, and the EMP network fired in response. The pulse hit the alien fleet, and for the first time, their shields flickered. It was brief, only seconds, but it was enough. Human shuttles and drones surged forward, striking the alien ships with precision. Explosions erupted in orbit, lighting the night sky like fireworks. Humanity's ingenuity was on full display. They could not match the aliens in raw power, but they could outthink them. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council watched, unable to hide their astonishment. Many had predicted Earth's quick destruction, yet here was a species using creativity, courage, and improvisation to challenge an armada that should have obliterated them. "Unbelievable," said Vryn of Korthon. "They are adapting, calculating, fighting back. They are unpredictable," replied Zoltar of the Creel. "I have never seen a species improvise under such pressure. Their ingenuity is remarkable." Back on Earth, ordinary citizens also played a role. Civilians helped build makeshift defenses, provided food and shelter for those displaced, and shared crucial data that aided the scientists and military. Humanity's spirit was everywhere on the ground, in the skies, and even in orbit. The aliens were not prepared for this. Their attacks became more aggressive, but also more chaotic. They expected submission, not resistance. They had faced worlds that surrendered instantly, civilizations that fell without question. But Earth was different. Earth fought. Earth learned. And Earth adapted. Small human teams began daring missions beyond the safety of orbit. Pilots flew shuttles directly into the enemy's formation, planting explosive devices on their ships. Engineers created miniature EMP drones, capable of bypassing the alien sensors. One such mission became legendary almost instantly. Captain Hana Lee, leading a squadron of modified shuttles, penetrated the shield of a command ship. The team navigated through alien corridors, dodging sensors and traps, and placed explosives on critical systems. Then they narrowly escaped, returning to Earth orbit just as the ship exploded in a blinding flash of light. The destruction of the command ship sent shockwaves through the alien fleet. Their movements became hesitant. They had never faced a species capable of such audacity. Their calculations did not account for creativity, courage, or unpredictability. On the surface, humanity cheered. But they knew the battle was far from over. Cities were damaged. Communication lines were disrupted. Lives had been lost. Yet hope burned brighter than ever. Humanity had shown that they could strike back, and that alone changed everything. Dr. Kapoor addressed the Global Council from the command center. They think they are invincible, but they underestimate us. Every action we take surprises them. Every move shows them that humans are not weak. We can fight, we can adapt, and we can win. Her words spread across the planet, broadcast on every channel. For the first time, people believed that victory, or at least survival, was possible. The aliens attempted a counterattack. Energy beams targeted human cities, intending to cripple their morale. But humanity was ready. Underground bunkers housed millions. Civil defense systems intercepted incoming attacks. Engineers had developed reflective shielding for buildings and vehicles, reducing casualties significantly. Even natural disasters caused by alien interference, like sudden electromagnetic storms, were mitigated using human ingenuity. Scientists manipulated energy fields to redirect electrical surges, preventing major blackouts. Every human victory, no matter how small, boosted morale and forced the aliens to rethink their strategies. The Galactic Council, which had been observing silently, began to reconsider their assumptions. Earth was no longer a minor planet. The humans were unpredictable, creative, and relentless. Some council members began secretly providing indirect guidance, sending cryptic data to aid the humans without revealing themselves. As the battle continued, humanity discovered something remarkable. They could learn from every encounter, every mistake, and every success. Each day, their defenses became stronger, their strategies more sophisticated. The aliens realized that brute force was not enough. To defeat humans, they would need to anticipate creativity, and humans were difficult to predict. Captain Hana Lee's squadron became a symbol of hope. Stories of their bravery spread worldwide. Ordinary citizens, from engineers to students, became heroes in their own way. A young programmer in India developed a virus capable of infiltrating alien sensors. A farmer in Brazil built a system to detect incoming attacks and warn nearby cities. Every person contributed to the fight, proving that courage and ingenuity were not limited to the battlefield. By the third week of the invasion, humanity had inflicted serious damage on the alien fleet. Their advances were slowed, and their attacks became more defensive. The humans had turned their weakness into strength. They were small, vulnerable, and underestimated, and that made them unpredictable. The council watched, awe mixing with dread. Vryn whispered, "They should have been crushed by now. Yet they continue to fight. And they are learning faster than anyone could imagine." Zoltar nodded. "This species, they are something else. I am starting to think Earth is not just surviving, they may actually win." Humanity had changed the rules of engagement. No longer were they mere targets. They were fighters, strategists, and survivors. The alien fleet had expected a predictable opponent. Instead, they found resistance, ingenuity, and courage that they could not calculate. On Earth, the population began to understand something profound. They were not weak, and they were not alone. Even in the face of an enemy that could have destroyed them, humanity had found its strength. Fear existed, yes, but it was paired with determination. Desperation became resourcefulness. Vulnerability became opportunity. Dr. Kapoor, watching the alien fleet wobble under the human counterattacks, allowed herself a rare smile. "We are doing it," she said quietly. "We are surviving, and we are fighting back. They will never forget us." General Hale placed a hand on her shoulder. "No. They will never forget humans, They thought we were weak. They thought we would surrender. But humans fight. And that makes all the difference. As night fell across the planet, Earth's cities lit up not with the fear of the coming invasion, but with resilience and courage. Humanity had survived the first major strike, and had even begun to turn the tide. The alien fleet was still powerful, still a threat. But it was no longer invincible. Humanity had proven that audacity, intelligence, and unity could challenge even the mightiest force in the galaxy. And far above, in the shadowed chambers of the Galactic Council, the observers whispered among themselves, if they continue like this, if they keep adapting, they may not just survive. They may rise. Earth, battered but unbroken, had taken the first steps toward not just defense, but victory. Humanity's story was no longer one of fear. It was a story of hope, ingenuity, and unyielding spirit. The battle for survival continued. But humanity had already proven one undeniable truth. Never underestimate humans. The alien fleet hovered in Earth's orbit, battered and confused. Weeks of relentless human resistance had forced the invaders into unfamiliar territory. They had expected submission, obedience, and easy victory. Instead, they found a species that adapted, learned, and fought with courage and ingenuity that no one had predicted. On Earth, cities were slowly beginning to recover. The initial shock of invasion had given way to a new determination. Communities rebuilt, scientists repaired damaged satellites, and engineers worked day and night to improve defenses. Humanity was no longer merely surviving, they were thriving in the chaos. In the International Space Defense Command Center, General Marcus Hale surveyed the situation. The alien fleet was smaller now, some ships disabled, others retreating. Captain Hana Lee and her squadron had returned safely from another daring strike, their bravery earning them global recognition. Dr. Elena Kapoor studied the alien technology, now partially deciphered thanks to captured ship data. They are reorganizing, she said. They've never faced this before. Every time we act, they hesitate. They don't understand humans. They can't predict us. Hale nodded. That hesitation is our advantage. We push, they falter, and we gain ground. This ends when they realize Earth is not a target, they're facing a force they cannot control. The aliens' frustration was evident. Their once precise and coordinated attacks had become scattered and cautious. They probed cities and military positions but avoided direct confrontation. Humanity had forced them into a defensive stance, something almost unimaginable for a species that considered Earth insignificant. Ordinary humans became extraordinary during this time. Engineers repaired communication satellites in orbit under fire. Pilots flew improvised missions to distract alien ships. Civilians provided intelligence, built shelters, and cared for the injured. Each small act contributed to the larger fight, proving that heroism was not limited to soldiers. One young scientist, Amina Patel from India, discovered a way to interfere with alien communication signals using modified Earth satellites. Her solution was simple but effective. It caused temporary confusion among the fleet, making their coordination nearly impossible. When this information reached General Hale, it was put into action immediately. The result was dramatic. Alien ships fired on each other by mistake, their formations collapsing. Humanity seized the opportunity, launching coordinated strikes that disabled critical systems. One by one, alien vessels were neutralized, not through brute force, but through clever tactics and quick thinking. The Galactic Council watched in astonishment. Their debates shifted from fear to admiration. For centuries, they had observed countless civilizations fall to superior forces. Yet here was Earth, a planet once deemed primitive, outsmarting an advanced armada. They are incredible, said Vryn of Korthan. They have no fleet, no shields, no true power, yet they fight as though the galaxy itself depends on it. They are not just fighting, Zoltar of the Kryl replied. They are innovating, they are learning, and they are winning. I have never seen a species like this. Even within the Council, some members began to secretly aid Earth. Cryptic messages reached human scientists, providing insights into alien weaknesses without directly intervening. Humanity's ingenuity combined with subtle guidance created a force neither the aliens nor the galaxy expected. On the surface, people cheered each small victory. News broadcasts showed alien ships crashing or retreating. Cities were damaged but still stood. Humanity had transformed fear into action, terror into innovation, and vulnerability into strength. The turning point came when Captain Hana Lee led a final mission to disable the alien fleet's remaining command ship. With a squadron of shuttles, drones, and modified satellites, she infiltrated the enemy formation. The mission was tense, with narrow escapes and precise maneuvers, but they succeeded. The command ship exploded in a blinding flash, sending shockwaves through the alien ranks. The remaining alien vessels, leaderless and disoriented, began to retreat. They moved away from Earth's orbit, leaving the planet free for the first time in weeks. Humanity had forced a withdrawal, a feat no one expected. As the alien fleet disappeared into the darkness of space, people on Earth erupted in celebration. Flags waved, horns sounded, and cheers echoed across continents. Humanity had not just survived, they had triumphed. General Hale addressed the world from the command center. Today, we have done something remarkable. We have faced an enemy that believed we were weak, and we have shown that we are not. Humanity's courage, creativity, and unity have won this battle. This victory belongs to all of us. Dr. Kapoor looked out the observation window at the retreating alien ships. They underestimated us, she said softly. They thought we were predictable. They thought fear would control us. But humans are not predictable. Humans fight, and humans survive. That is our greatest strength. The Galactic Council could no longer remain observers. They initiated formal contact with Earth, sending representatives to deliver a message of respect and recognition. In a historic broadcast, they acknowledged humanity's ingenuity, courage, and resilience. Humans, the Council spokesperson said, you have demonstrated qualities that even the most advanced civilizations find remarkable. Your resourcefulness, unity, and spirit of innovation have saved your world and earned you a place among the stars. Earth's leaders, scientists, and citizens watched in awe. For the first time, humanity's efforts were recognized on a galactic scale. The Council offered technology, knowledge, and guidance, but also respected Earth's independence. Humanity would not be controlled, it would be celebrated. The victory reshaped human society. Nations realized that collaboration and innovation were more powerful than conflict. Scientists continued to study alien technology, not for war, but to improve life on Earth. Humanity's place in the galaxy had changed. It was no longer a minor, overlooked planet. Earth had earned respect. Captain Hana Lee, standing on a platform in New York City as the crowd cheered, felt a mix of relief and pride. We did it, she said. Not because we were strongest, but because we refused to give up. Because we were human. Dr. Kapoor joined her, smiling. This is just the beginning. The galaxy is vast, and we have proven that humanity has a place among the stars. We fought to survive, and we survived with honor. That is something no one can ever take away. The Council's representatives stayed on Earth for a time, sharing knowledge and helping humans repair the planet. They marveled at humanity's creativity, courage, and resilience. Unlike other species they had observed, humans never followed the expected path. Each action was unpredictable, each decision brave, and each response intelligent. As humanity rebuilt, plans were made to explore the stars. Satellites, shuttles, and research stations were upgraded. Young scientists and engineers were inspired to innovate, driven by the knowledge that their species had faced overwhelming odds and prevailed. The alien threat had been defeated, but Earth was ready for the future. Humanity had learned that fear was temporary, but courage and ingenuity could shape destiny. The lessons of the invasion were clear. Unity, intelligence, and determination could overcome even the most powerful adversaries. In the skies, satellites hummed with activity, while human ships prepared for exploration. On the ground, cities buzzed with life and reconstruction. Across oceans and continents, people celebrated the triumph of humanity not just as survivors, but as a species capable of remarkable achievement. The Galactic Council departed, leaving Earth to its destiny. But their admiration lingered. Vryn whispered as they left, "They are remarkable. No other species would have done what humans did." Zoltar nodded. "Perhaps they are not just survivors, perhaps they are the future." And on Earth, humanity looked to the stars with new hope. The invasion had been a trial, a test of ingenuity, courage, and spirit. Humans had passed with distinction. The galaxy had learned a simple truth: never underestimate humanity. Dr. Kapoor, standing on a hill overlooking the rebuilt city, felt the wind on her face. "We survived," she said softly. "We won. And one day, the stars will know what humans are capable of." General Hale joined her. "They will," he said. "They already do. And we will make sure the universe remembers the name of Earth." The sun rose over the horizon, casting golden light across the planet. Humanity had endured the storm, fought back, and triumphed. They were no longer just inhabitants of Earth. They were warriors, innovators, and pioneers, ready to claim their place among the stars. The story of humanity's courage spread across the galaxy. Tales of bravery, ingenuity, and unity became legends. Civilizations that once looked down upon Earth now studied its people with respect. The species that had been underestimated had shown that courage, intelligence, and determination were more powerful than any weapon. And so, Earth stood strong, a symbol of resilience in the galaxy. Humanity had faced annihilation, but they had emerged victorious. They had not only survived, they had proven that even the smallest, most underestimated species could change the course of history. The stars awaited, and humanity was ready.